Hello, my name is Nick Williams, and this is my CM100 project on my paper, the Golden Gate Bridge. So I want to start off with just like a little bit of facts about it. It is a multi-million-dollar project, obviously. I think it was about 27 million in between that range. Took about 4 years to build. It connects from San Francisco to Marin County, California, and that it spans up to 2 miles across the bay, from the opening of the bay to the Pacific. So the buildup of the bridge, an engineer by the name of Michael O'Shaughnessy was the first person to be able to find someone to construct the bridge at a reasonable price. It was then pushed over to Joseph Strauss, which is him right over there. He thought he could get it from about 25 to 30 million. And he also submitted sketches to the communities to be able to give them benefits, like why this would benefit them in general. And in May 1923, they passed the Golden Gate and Highway District Act, which was able to help them to start planning and doing everything else to be able to start to build the bridge. Leon S. Moisseff then scrapped the original plan they had for the bridge, and he was able to make a new one that would be able to withstand winds and just like super windy conditions, all that. The color of the bridge, the orange, it is known as International Orange, and the man came up with that. His name is Irving F. Morrow. In November 1930, a measure was passed and was given him $35 million in bonds. But at that time, it was the Great Depression, and it was very hard for them to find a financial banker to be able to help pay this for them. Strauss then sought help from the president of Bank of America. His name was Armadillo Gianni, and he was able to give them $6 million in bonds in 1932. So the start of the bridge, it first commenced on January 5th, 1933, they had 3.25 million cubic feet of dirt, and that was to be able to help establish the bridge. The name of the Golden Gate Bridge came from the water that it passes over, and that is known as the Golden Gate Strait, so that is where that name comes from. They have 3 processes to building the bridge. The first is that they build the towers and the concrete ankles. The second one that they do is that they raise the cables. And then third and finally, they drop vertical cables laying the steel road deck, and that helps them to be able to start building the actual highway, the Golden Gate Highway. The crew consisted of anyone being able to work in these conditions. They set up wages for iron workers and cement mixers. So there's a lot of safety restrictions that came with this job in general and changed the whole history of construction. This project was actually the very first to make hard hats mandatory for all the workers that were working on the project. They were given respirators and glare-free goggles. Respirators were to help prevent inhalations of fumes, and then the goggles were for blindness or glareness from them at a high height when they're building on the bridge. They had an on-site hospital. It treated workers and the crew, and they were supposed to follow a diet that helped prevent vertigo and dizziness. They installed a net on the bridge, which was if someone were to fall off the bridge while working, per se, they would fall into the net. And this did help. It saved 19 lives. These 19 lives were referred to as the Halfway to Hell Club. One day, everything thought it was all safe until a scaffold and 10 men fell onto the net. It caught them, but the scaffold was so heavy that it was able to rip away the net from the bridge. The scaffold and the 10 men then fell, and the 10 men unfortunately passed away. The conclusion, so it was finished on April 19th, 1937, but it was not open at all until May 27th, but that was only open to pedestrians, and they had to pay 25 cents to cost. The following day, May 28th, President Franklin Roosevelt then opened it to the whole entire world, which was all cars, didn't have to pay any more, pedestrians could all go across. Like I said earlier, it spans up to 2 miles, but it was also 90 feet wide. It withstood the Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989, and it's only been closed to traffic 3 times of the 75 years due to just weather conditions. This is my project on the Golden Gate Bridge and my paper. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.